Where does my, I gotta have, ugh, give me just 1 second. Oh my goodness. That hit the spot. All right. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I see Asif is back in the house. I hope everybody is doing well. Hope you guys are having a good day. We are going to get into it today a little bit, but we got a couple other things I want to tell you first, and we will get into there in a moment with everything else. But it's so funny. I'm laughing. I'm looking at the number of people that were in here before the stream started, and I'm sure that YouTube saw the title and didn't like the title, so they didn't probably put it out there as much as they normally would. But whatever, that's what they do. We'll just have to deal with it. So, anyway, um, before we get into everything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those simple, easy rules, the people lit up in blue with the wrenches will boot you out of here because we are not going to tolerate that. We like to have a good chat, we like everybody to have a good time, and we will go from there. So, if you guys watched my earlier video today, raining like a son of a gun here, and that was probably about 11 o'clock this morning. And so I was like, okay, well, this sucks. So I put that video up, and I'm like, well, probably the rain stopped maybe 20 minutes after that, after I did the video. So I'm like, well, I'm going to power out for a minute. I powered out for like an hour, woke up, and I'm like, okay, it's not raining still again. I'm going to see if I can get some grass cut. Because I'm going to tell you what, my OCD has been going absolutely crazy, just so you know. I like my place to look nice. I don't like it to look crappy. And when the grass is too high, I think it looks crappy. So I'm like, I got to get some grass cut. So I went up, got the lawnmower, the rider out of the shipping container. I did. So I did the side. I figured, well, I won't be sliding and slipping. I'll do that side first. So I did over by the fencing where he put the fencing in that big section. I did that first. Then I did the other upper section on the, by the shipping container. I did that, and I'm like, all right, well now let me see what else I can get done. Hopefully it doesn't rain and I can keep getting some more grass cut. So I came down to the lower meadow, and I have not. Yes, have you been down to the street? The water levels are high. I'm going to go down tomorrow and check that out. I want to do some video of the waterfall, and I think tomorrow, because of all the rain that we had, it's probably going to be really cool. But anyway, so yes, I plan on doing that tomorrow. I came down to the lower meadow, and I ended up cutting the entire lower meadow. So the only area that I have left to cut is over by the graveyard. So I was really, really happy with that because I knew the forecast for tomorrow was no rain tomorrow. So I was thinking I was going to spend the day cutting grass tomorrow. But with being able to get, and I did get rained on a little bit, but not bad. But real happy about getting that done. It makes me feel better. It sounds weird, I know, but I like it to look nice. With keeping it cut down as well, it makes a big difference with, ticks, mosquitoes, all that type of stuff. So I love cutting the grass. I don't, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't, you got to understand, as a kid, I used to have, I had a yard that it would take me 5 hours on a riding lawnmower. So it ain't no big deal to spend hours on a riding lawnmower. It's not a big deal at all. I just needs to be done. I want to get it done. I have other projects, obviously, um, you know, and yes, I so let's be clear about something. So Julius Newman just said the House just passed a ban on what they call assault rifles. Okay, never going anywhere, guys. It's not going to pass in the Senate. They're not going to get enough votes in the Senate. It's all grandstanding. It's not going. No, you got to understand. They're getting ready to have a month off now, So Congress is going to be off for a month. The Senate's going to be off for a month. They're not going to be there. They're going to have the entire month off of August. So, and when it comes back, it's not passing in the Senate. So they can pat themselves on the back all they want. They're not going to get enough votes in the Senate to get that passed. It's just not going to happen. So, and I have a weird philosophy. When the Second Amendment says shall not be infringed, that's what it means, shall not be infringed. I don't care what they come up with or what they say. The Second Amendment is the Second Amendment. So, um, you know, it just it's all games. It's all games. And I'm going to tell you what. And I've said this before, and I will say this again. Criminals do not obey gun laws. Period. End of story. All right. So there you go. So yeah, so that's the House can pass whatever they want. It hasn't passed in the Senate, and it's not going to pass in the Senate. So anyway, that's what that is. So they it's all pomp and circus, and it's all nonsense. It means nothing. But like I said again, Second Amendment says shall not be infringed. It doesn't mean we're changing it now. It doesn't work like that. So anyway. But so let's yeah. All right, so I wanted to talk about this. We had this major supposed, according to what we're being told, I'll put it like that. I want to make sure I'm not trying to give out stuff that's not in the guidelines. I got to make sure, according to what we were told, we just had a major pandemic, right? So who still made money during the pandemic, who did not make money during the pandemic? So we're going to talk about that. And it always amazes me that big business always seems to do very, very well. Very, very well, no matter what's going on, right? Guys, we got 273 in the chat already. We're at 113 on the thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel, and thank you for that ahead of time. It also really makes a big difference with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, again, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. So thank you for that as well. All right, so let's get into this a little bit. The 150 slackers, exactly. So we had what we were told was this major pandemic. So everybody had to shut down, right? All these small businesses, mom and pop businesses, had to shut down. So, but Lowe's, Home Depot, every large grocery chain, Walmart, none of them had to shut down. So I want someone, first of all, to explain to me how does that work? It is selective. People have to shut down, but other ones can stay open. And because all these places had to shut down, um, and they couldn't be doing any business, you had thousands upon thousands of small businesses close their doors, and they're not reopening them. So they suffered. They got hurt by this. But Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, your Wegmans, your Kroger's, your Piggly Wigglies, all those type of stuff were making record profits, especially Walmart. Walmart ended up doing very, very well. I know Walmart was making record profits during this whole thing, okay? When all that was going on, they were making bank. So how does that work? Does that make any kind of sense to you? If we're in the midst of a major crisis like we were being told, how come certain businesses had to shut down and others did not? How come so many restaurants that were out there will never be serving any food again because they went under? You had a lot of small businesses that were doing okay, and because of that, they had to shut their doors. They couldn't pay their bills, and it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me that they can get away with that and that's okay, but big businesses just keep raking in the bucks. If you don't think that you are being played, um, I I don't know what to tell you. Um, I do not know what to tell you because it just to me it doesn't add up. Never added up. And here's the thing: is if you look at the statistics, and I want you, this is what I want you guys to do. So they were saying all these people died from the pandemic, right? And I'm not saying, just let me just be real clear on this. I'm not saying that this virus wasn't out there. I'm not saying that, okay? But I'm going to give you an example. If you have in an average year, I'm going to make a number up. I'm going to make a number up to make my point. So let's say in an average year, 3 million people die. That's the average. Every year, basically, because of sickness, disease, whatever the case may be, 3 million people die every single year. And then you had this virus. This virus comes in that we've been told that it's so deadly and it's so horrible and it's a terrible thing. And all these people died from this virus. So you would think your average people are going to still die anyway, right? Average amount of people are still going to die anyway, but you would have this pop. So let's say it was a 500,000 people in a year died from the virus. All right. And I'm just giving this as an example. So the numbers should be 3.5 million for that year as opposed to the normal 3 million, right? Makes sense, doesn't it? Virus comes out of nowhere. It's killing all these people. We all have to be afraid, and we have to. No, I'm being careful, Rich. I'm not. I'm not discrediting anything. I'm just making a point. But the reality is, the numbers, and I don't know exactly what the numbers were, year over year, never changed. Does that make any sense to you? So I'm not giving this misinformation. This is not any kind of misinformation. I'm not making any kind of conspiracy theorist statements in any way, shape, or form. I want to make it perfectly clear what I'm saying ahead of time. I'm not doing any of those things, okay? The point is, if you look at statistically the numbers did not change year over year. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So that's my thought on that. And I just wanted to share that with you guys because I think that's something that needs to be talked about, needs to be looked into. A lot of it doesn't make sense. A lot of it doesn't make sense. But, it just, here's a question that I have. I always have lots of questions. How come when somebody says something that doesn't go along with the narrative, right? They're shut up, they're shut down, they're given strikes. They are, having, they're being restricted. Because why? Because they don't agree, or they have a different opinion, or they maybe have information that is different, that they're looking at things differently than what is presented out there to the public. This is what it is, and this is what you have to believe. Again, something to think about. That's just a question that I have. I just think that that's very interesting that that happens. Myself included, I've gotten 2 strikes over the course of the last year and a half. And you get a strike, it's on there for 90 days. But if you don't go along, and if you disagree, and if you question that, hey, Philip, how you doing today, buddy? If you question that, then you're considered a conspiracy theorist. You're spreading misinformation, and like I said, I'm not spreading information that is not real. That's out there. The numbers year over year did not change. That's a fact. That can be looked up. You can look into that, but that doesn't make sense to me as a layman looking at the numbers. If we had this thing that happened that caused all these deaths, that number should be much, much higher year over year. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I find it amazing. That's all. But you know, but anyhow, so always follow the money. That's always going to be my number one thing that I will tell anybody. If something comes out or something's being done, who is profiting from it? Who is making money on it? Obviously, we know from what happened, big business made a ton of money. The pharmaceutical companies made a ton of money. And some of you will say, well, Ed, it was free. No, it was not free. It was not free. They told you it was free, but American tax dollars paid for it. And all those ones that we gave away to other countries, we paid for that as well. So, think about that. Something to think about for sure. Oh yeah, now we have the latest thing, okay? And I'm not going to ever be disparaging to any group of people, but disproportionately what group of people? I'm not going to say it, all right? But I'll let you guys in the comments make your own assumptions. Disproportionately what group of people are being affected by the new thing that came out, the monkey thing, right? What group of people? And that's where it's spreading quite a bit, actually. Now, I'm not saying that it can't affect other people. Oh, I forgot that. Hold on, guys. That's mom. I will have to call her back. But but yeah, it's there's a group of people that it's affecting quite a bit, unfortunately. But they want everybody to be afraid, and so and I'm not saying that it can't affect other people. Absolutely, it can. But right now, if you look at the numbers, and they don't want to say anything about that, and I'm not saying anything about that, I'm letting you guys make your own assumptions on that, and use your own brains to think. But if you look at the numbers, again, it's so transparent. The numbers don't lie, right? It doesn't lie. So something to think about. Something to think about. But you have to be very careful anyway. I would caution everybody to be careful with that. You just don't know. Um, the unknown is always going to be scary. So here's something that I want you to think about too. And again, this is knowledge. It's common knowledge. This is not something that Prepper Nurse One is making up. When AIDS came out, everybody remember AIDS came out in the 80s, right? Very, very deadly, very, very, killed a lot of people. A lot of hemophiliacs died from it because they got blood transfusion. They ended up getting tainted blood and they ended up getting it and died. Ryan White comes to mind. The two places, and I think I mentioned this in another live stream. Hey, we the people. I want the truth 100%, and I like your different point of views. Keep it up, brother. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Well, it's if you do research and you look and you think for yourselves and not just listen to mainstream news media, it's right there. But I talked about this before. The two places in the United States where AIDS started. Two cities. Two cities where AIDS started in the United States, right? It started in two places. And I've talked about this before, so I'm just going to go ahead and say them. New York City and San Francisco. Two areas with very large gay populations, right? I mean, this is not misinformation. This is a fact, right? So, how, my question would be simultaneously, San Francisco, New York City, other sides of the country, that's where it started. Is there more into that? I'm not saying that there is. I'm not saying that there's not. But I'm saying it's an interesting thing to look at because when something generally breaks out, it breaks out in one area and then it spreads. But when it breaks out in two huge, yeah, the gays were targeted, Sonia says. Now, I'm not saying that that's the case, but that would not surprise me that certain people did something on purpose. Not saying that they did, not saying that they didn't. But again, we need to put our thinking caps on. we watch what happens, and we have to pay attention to those things. So, you know, and that was spread with bodily fluids, obviously. So, yeah, it was horrible watching people die from it. And at the end of the day, again, to this day, let's think about this, right? You don't hear a lot of people dying from AIDS anymore. Why? Why don't you hear from that anymore? You don't hear about it anymore. They all caught it at a gay festival in Europe. Actually, that's not going to be accurate because it would have been all over the country, Randy Romines. It would have been all over the country. It wouldn't have just been in two areas. So, who benefits? Because Big Pharma came out with medicine to help people that have AIDS. You could now get AIDS and you can live 20, 30 years with AIDS as long as you have your cocktail of pills given to you by Big Pharma. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that interesting how that works? Who benefits? When something happens, we always have to pay attention. Who's making money off of it? Who's benefiting from it? And that's something that you really, really need to think about. So, I went to my P.O. box and I received, and I'm just going to say the first name, I received 4 letters from a lady named Donna. And I agree with you 100% what you were saying. And no, I do not think you're crazy. So I wanted to put that out there for her. So just so you know. And no, I absolutely agree with you 100% with what you were saying. And I'm not going to get into what that was. That's a private conversation. But there's no return address, so I couldn't write her back. So, but I wanted to say that. I want to show you guys something. So, hold on. So, me and Margie were having a conversation, my sister Margie, and, I've talked about the shelf life of flour. And I said it's about a year and a half. And she said, well, actually, if you put it in glass jars, it'll last for 5 years. And I said, okay, which I did want to pass on to you guys. So what Margie did, she said, I put an order in, and I'm going to send you some glass jars down to West Virginia. All right, big old glass jars. Um, she sent me 12 of them. So absolutely awesome. And I absolutely will utilize them. I'll fill a couple of them up with flour. And I'm going to show you the company. Hold on a second. Let me get. So if you guys are interested in getting some of those glass jars, I have, you know, how do you vacuum seal those jars? I don't think you can vacuum seal them, but because they're too big. A vacuum sealer usually has a smaller one. But those are going to be awesome. Margie sent them. I have no affiliation with this company. Let me just put that out there to start with. I'm going to share this information with you because if you are interested in getting those glass jars, you can order them. They get them out very, very quickly. She ordered them the day that I drove down here, which was Wednesday. And was it Wednesday that I drove down? Tuesday. I drove down Tuesday. Which was Wednesday. They were here today. So they're really, really quick. It's Uline, Uline. So if you go to their website, they have other stuff. They have all this different things. They have 12 different locations. They ship. It's uline.com. So if you want to, I'll just hold that up there so you guys can see that. If you're interested, go to the website, check them out. Like I said, I have zero affiliation with them. I'm not doing that to make money, or there's no discount code or nothing. But you can vacuum seal large jars, but you need a different lid. Okay, but those are going to be great for storage. And so our son works for Uline. Oh, very cool, Angry Homesteader, very nice. But yeah, these are. I'm going to tell you what the IBC tanks. They're kind of expensive, but it would be IBC tanks that didn't have anything in there before. So again, um, do Uline ship to Canada? That I don't know. You would have to go on the website and look and see. That I don't know. I don't know if they ship to Canada or not. But but yeah, I mean, like I said, 2 days after she orders them, they were here. So they came today. She sent me down 12 of those jars, and so that's awesome. I will absolutely use them. Uh, they will go. They will go to definitely go to good use. But so anyway, just putting that out there for you guys. Yes, World Economic Council said we need to stop owning our own vehicles. They were talking about sharing vehicles. I mean, how insane is that? Absolutely insane. So crazy, absolutely crazy. I don't know if they ship to Canada or not. You're going to have to contact and we'll go to their website and check that out. But I wanted to share that with you because, like I said, I just got them today. Really, really happy to get them. I think that they are gallon. They might be gallon jars. Or they might be bigger than that. I don't even know. When am I pulling my potatoes? I saw some information was sent to me by somebody. When the potatoes die off, like it looks like they've died off. They said you wait 2 weeks and then you harvest the potatoes. So I think that's what I'm going to do and see if that is. I'll wait the 2 weeks. So like, not when I got back down here on what, Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday I got down here. So not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, I will go in there and start digging up potatoes and see what I have. So looking forward to doing that too, to be honest with you, and see if hopefully, because somebody's like, oh, potato bugs got them and stuff. Those potatoes were doing awesome. So they might have just hit their peak, and it might have been just their time. I don't know. Yes, I would freeze flour like rice before storing long term. Yes, Charles, I would do that. Give it that couple of weeks to make sure you're getting rid of all the any larvae or bugs or any of that type of stuff. That's what I would do. You can order from Uline Canada, even France. Oh, there you go. Very cool. All right, so there you are. There's your answer. Yes, I guess they will ship to Canada. So, but no, they jars look awesome. I'll show you them again. I don't. Let me just. Let's see if it even says on here. Maybe it's. Yeah, it doesn't say, but that's a pretty big jar, guys. I think it'll hold like 5 pounds, maybe. I think. Not 100% sure. Gallon? Yeah, it looks like a gallon jar. Okay. All right. But yeah, so good jars though. Very heavy, not real light and thin. So very cool. Really happy about that. So yep. So I got 12 of those puppies. So more than a gallon, Sonia says. That's bigger than a gallon. Okay. I don't know what it is, guys. They would hold at least 10 pounds or more of flour. Okay. Well, that's a lot of flour. So yeah, I will definitely use some of that for flour. So like a bass fisherman. Yeah, right. So, but I wanted to share that with you. Like I said, Margie said, yeah, when you order, they'll have it there really, really quick. And I'm like, well, that's cool, so that's a good thing. But nothing wrong with that. How many Skittles will it hold? A lot. 80K man says my rain catchment worked well. Good, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I actually have we have a flash flood warning in southern West Virginia. Okay, Alan, thank you. What I wanted to do, like I said, I wanted to get that grass cut here today, so that's what I focused on after the rains finally stopped. I probably going to take me maybe another hour maybe an hour and a half to what I still have to cut, which isn't bad, not bad at all. So I want to tomorrow. My goal is to work on my rain catchment system. How about Meechin turning tail at the last minute? What a snake! West Virginia has been defrauded. Yeah, I did see that he ended up making a deal, but that other senator from Arizona, she's the one that can still hold things up, and they're already not supporting her. So if it was me and I was her, because they're not, because she went against the party, uh, you know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I saw that they passed it. They're all snakes. Yeah, well, I agree with you there. Passed in the House. Okay, I didn't know. Yeah, well, they pared it down. I know that, and who knows? They're all. I'm sorry, personal opinion only. They're all scumbags. They're all looking out for their own interest, and they don't care about anybody else. You don't get me started. Don't get me started. It's amazing. Okay, so here's a good example. The House also passed the thing for the semiconductors, so that we're actually going to make them in the United States once again, right? Because the United States knows that it is a matter of time before China goes in and takes over Taiwan, and we need to have those chips for what we need to have here. So they need to be made in the United States. We got to stop relying on other countries to do our things that we need to have done. I'm telling you right now, it's a matter of time before China goes into Taiwan. I have absolutely no doubt about that. I'm not going to say what our reaction would be. I think it would be a really, really bad thing. China said they would shoot down Nancy's plane. Uh, what will happen to the country? You know what? We're gonna have to see what happens with all that. It's almost like poking the bear. You poke the bear enough, eventually that bear's gonna get pissed off and it's gonna strike out. And I don't think China is any kind of one that we want to screw around with. I really don't. So you know, yes. Okie Forge says, in my opinion, making those chips in the U.S. is a matter of national security. I agree. We need to have manufacturing return to the United States. We need to be making our own things, just like the Transformers guys. We talked about that before. Uh, the really big Transformers, they're not even made in the United States. It takes up to 2 years to get one. To get one. So think about what happens if a lot of those transformers went down, were damaged, something happened. It would be a ridiculously long time before they could even get them, if they could get them. So we need to make things here. That's what we need to do. We need to stop letting these idiots that we put in office make decisions that gives them money. So what my point was I was going to make on that. My point I was going to make on that was um, so a lot of congressmen and senators knew that we were going to be doing this deal, right? Where we're going to get these semiconductors back in the United States. And amazingly, they're so smart. These congressmen and senators are so smart. A lot of them invested in these companies that will be making these chips. Isn't that interesting how that works? Now, of course, that's not insider trading. Of course not. I'm not saying that it is, right? Sharing information with people. Maybe you have a relative goes out and all of a sudden they buy a whole bunch of stock in that company. And then when the announcement is made, we're making semiconductors back in the United States, and wow, that particular company, this is who we're going to do business with, and their stock takes off. Somebody just made a whole bunch of money, right? Isn't that interesting how that works? Not you or me, because we didn't get that information, but somebody is. So So very interesting. It just makes me crazy. Makes me absolutely crazy. I'll be honest with you. But until people do something about it, it's never going to change. Because 4 years from now, we're going to and get our people in the White House or in the Congress and or in the Senate, and then 4 years after that, the other side will get theirs in because they don't like what happened. It's a big freaking game. It's a big game, and we're the suckers that keep believing that things are going to be different if we get these guys in. It'll be different if we get those guys in. They're all looking out for their own interest. They want to make money, and they're going to watch out for the special interest groups that get them elected. Period. Period. They don't care about us. They don't care about us. So, 1.1 billion in the Mega Million. Yeah, I saw that. I got my ticket. Hey, $1 in a dream, baby. You'd be like, what happened to Prepper Nurse One? He's not making videos anymore. That's right. I will tell you right now, if I won that kind of money, I would have an underground complex here, probably in the neighborhood of 15 to 20 million dollars. 15 to 20 million dollars. That's what it would be underground, where nobody could see it, and it would be unbelievable. Everything that you could possibly want to have underground, it would be. That's so yeah, it's unbelievable. I'm not permanently here yet, New York Prepper. Nope, not yet. I spend 3 weeks out of every four down here in West Virginia, and I go back to New York to take care of business every month, and I get another load of stuff that I bring down. So when the winter comes, obviously I plan on being down here. So would you keep the camper on top of the bunker? Oh, absolutely. I would have a few buildings. Um, I would have a few above ground buildings as well. So, but yeah, if I had that kind of money, I would have a few retreats, not just here. Well, first of all, I would try to buy up all the land around me, make them an offer they can't refuse. Give them way more than the asking price. People will get very persuasively in your favor when that happens. But no, I love it down here. I would stay in West Virginia. Absolutely, I would stay in West Virginia. So, but no, it's I had somebody ask me. I got to tell you this. This is what I thought was kind of funny. Somebody said, "Well, you knew that the weather was going to be bad. Why did you still come down to West Virginia even though you knew the weather was going to be bad?" Well, there's still stuff that has to be done. I have things to do down here that need to be taken care of. Some of the stuff I can take care of when it's not raining. Some of the things I can do when it's raining. So, hey, Pam in Wonderland, did you hear Biden supplying Ukraine with Hunter's taco flavored crack? Oh my God, too funny. You're funny. That's funny. Thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that, and thank you for the humor. Yeah, there is. It amazes me. It really amazes me uh, that how many people buy into the narrative of even the sides. They buy into the narrative of the sides. Well, if our guys get in, it'll be different. No, it won't. It's not ever going to be different. Now, there's different agendas with the different parties, and I will give you that 100%. But at some point, there's a breaking point. At some point, there always is. So it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. But like I said, who knows? We'll see if somebody wins tonight or not. Pretty big jackpot though. It's a lot of freaking money. Now let's say a billion, right? 1 billion. Let's call it a billion. You're going to end up with 400 million. After all the taxes, well, their lump sum is like 600 and something million is the lump sum if you take the lump sum. Then you pay taxes on the lump sum. So that's going to take you down to about 400 million. Might be a little bit more than that, but it's going to be in that neighborhood. But again, like I said, I will definitely, I would learn to adjust my lifestyle. Saw a meme of a person winning the billion. They'd buy all the tickets of a Kanye West concert and stand there with a sign saying "You suck." Oh my God, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. So I think I could get by on that. Yeah, I would. I would find out if I could. Oh yes, when okay, Nancy Pelosi pushing the mic down and walking away after they asked her the question about her husband buying stock, knowing that things were going to happen, and she said, "Oh, absolutely not." Pushed the mic down and walked off the stage. Yeah, that you got to be a moron not to believe that she told her husband, and then all of a sudden he just happens to buy those companies. Again, it's just it amazes me. And just so you guys know, this is not strictly a Democratic thing. This happens in the Republican Party as well. So it's politicians, politicians, not the Democrats. The Democrats, they're the bad ones. They all suck. I don't know. I can't be. I don't know if I could be any more clear in my stance on politicians. Um, you know, yeah. It's amazing. Think about, go back and think about when Bush second, it was a second Bush or first Bush. I think it was the first Bush, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, just let me know if I'm wrong. I think it was the first Bush when he was getting ready. His term was almost done. He signed that bill that you could no longer go bankrupt. So you couldn't just go straight bankrupt, clean slate, 10 years down the road, you're good to go. Um, you could not do that anymore because that was beneficial to the banks, and so that's how that went down. And who benefited from that? He benefited from that, but the bank, he was in the bank's pocket. You know that was Bush too. Okay, thank you. So, yep, Republicans and Democrat, two wings of the same bird. Yep, a two-party system to give you the illusion that you have a choice. You don't have a choice. It's all games. Stream Elements Labs does not take as much from your supers as YouTube. Just FYI, if you want to try it. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate that, and thank you again for the donation. I don't know how that works. For that wouldn't work for YouTube though, because YouTube does their thing with that. Yeah, YouTube takes 30%. So, or Google, I should say, right? I knew I had something. I was like, I kept feeling something on my foot, and I'm like, what is that? Piece of tape. So, the illusion of freedom, people are just blind to it. Yeah. Well, it's just like with yeah, PayPal only takes about 3%. Yep, Okie Ford, you're right. Yep. So yeah, if anybody wants to make a donation to me on PayPal, I would not say no. Yeah, they take 3%. PayPal takes 3%. So, and it would be very appreciated, especially with all the games YouTube has been playing lately. It's been interesting. So, uh, uh, it does. You just post the link yourself. Oh, okay, Pam. All right. Well, thank you. Is it egg count time? It is almost. Okay, yes. We are at that point. Sorry, boy, the time's just flown by tonight. My apologies. All right, egg count time. Again, what we got? 422 in the chat. We're at 246 on the thumbs up. Um, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you very much ahead of time. And it really does make a big difference with the algorithms as well. It pushes us up higher in the ranking. So I thank you for that reason as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So you guys are getting your guesses up there. I'll give you another moment to get your guesses up there, and then I will tell you who the winner chicken dinner is. Hold on a second. My Easter egger is laying army green eggs. Oh, awesome. Malachi's Corner. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right. Popped up one of the very first ones that came up. If you had the exact same guess as Asif, Asif's been gone for a while, comes in and nails it with 8 eggs. And yes, Thickneck did lay today. So congratulations, Asif. You've won absolutely nothing except bragging rights until the next live stream. But yeah, it popped up, and I wasn't even looking at anybody else's after that because I think you actually were the very first guess, and you had it right on the money. So I thought that was pretty funny. So, a few other people had the right answer as well. So that was, it's fun. They're fun to do. So now in my background, I have my classic roast freeze-dried coffee. So picked up a couple of those. 20-year shelf life, boys and girls, open or not. So when SHTF happens, you can still have a cup of coffee for a while. So yeah, egg sensory perception. That's funny. That is funny. Do you drink straight black or add creamer? It really depends. Sometimes I'll drink it black. I always tell people when they say how do you want your coffee, I go black and bitter like my ex-wife's heart. That always gets a laugh. But sometimes sometimes I'll use creamer. And I don't drink coffee every day. I really don't. So Asif insider info. No insider info. I don't give away that info. There's no insider info there. Me and Asif actually do talk almost every day, with text messaging, but no insider information. Oh, that'd be interesting. A little coffee with my honey, coconut oil, cinnamon, and cream. I think that actually would be a good combo. I usually, if I'm going to do creamer, I do hazelnut. So that's how I kind of go with that. But a lot of times I wake up and I'm like, okay, let's get going with something. Yeah, Asif talks to the chickens. Chocolate caramel creamer. Wow, okay. But yeah, I've been with the freeze dried coffee guys. I'm going to tell you what. If you are a coffee drinker, highly, 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 highly recommend getting freeze dried coffee and lots of it, because again, you're looking at a 20-year shelf life, and could you imagine 2 years after an SHTF event, you're having a powwow when you're meeting with somebody and you're talking about bartering and trading with some other group, and you offer them a cup of coffee? Think about what that kind of statement would do. My wife told me I like my coffee like my girlfriend's, hot and black. Oh my God, that's funny. Nothing wrong with that either. Nothing wrong with that either. All right, so real quick, guys, I want to talk about Deloma Health here, the immune system defense dietary supplement, 8-in-1. Okay, made in the U.S., American-made company. All the products come from the U.S. Nothing is shipped in from overseas. It helps boost your immune system. It's an immune system support. Vitamin C, echinacea, turmeric, zinc, vitamin D3, elderberry, ginger, and garlic. JJ just threw the link up there. If you follow that link and you make an order, you can save 10% using my discount there by following that link. It is a good thing to have to boost your immune system. There's 60 tablets in each bottle. And if you decide to go to their website, following the link, if you decide to sign up for a monthly uh, thing, you save another 10%. Turmeric, you know what? You know what I mean, right? So, turmeric, I don't care. It is what it is. So, hey, good thing to have. You definitely should be boosting your immune system. And actually, I'll tell you what, turmeric. Turmeric? Is that right? Turmeric. Okay? Yes? No? So, these are the size of the pills. Very good. There we go. Yes. Okay. Turmeric. I won't remember the next time we do it, so you'll have to remind me again. But highly recommend it. We should definitely be making sure our immune system is in good shape. And like I said, I do recommend it. It's something that I take myself. So there we are. Deborah says, "I like my tea like I like my men, strong, hot, and sweet." There you go. That's nothing wrong with that, hon. Nothing wrong with that at all. There are brain booster pills. Okay. Rich Moan says my order came fast. Oh, you ordered some? Okay, cool. That's all right, Angela. I'm going to give you guys a hard time. Pronunciation is not always right up at the top of my my game. So even I, the organic Starbucks coffee person, have instant coffee. Wheezing is just so undignified. Oh my God, that's too funny. I'll have to send you some Hawkins cheesies. Okay, that's cool. I would definitely try them. Come on, as a nurse, you were able to pronounce much harder words than turmeric. Yeah, you're right. But I'm looking at it. I've never heard it said. So, if somebody had said it, then I would know how to say it. But anyway, I'm actually excited. It's not supposed to rain tomorrow, like I said. And I plan on getting the rest of the upper meadow finished off, hopefully early. And then I can focus on the rain catchment system. And Hella's down here sleeping on the floor. Her boyfriend came over today to visit. So she was happy about it. I got to tell you what this lunatic dog did. She's crazy, just so you know. So she's outside with me the whole time, staying fairly close. And so I was on the lawnmower a couple of hours, before I stopped the first time. So when I stopped, the grass, everything is wet. It's muddy. It's crappy, right? She starts jumping all over me like she ain't seen me in 2 weeks. I'm like, what are you doing, you lunatic? So yeah, I'm just oh boy, story time. Yeah, well, it is what it is. But yeah, she was like so happy. I was like, I was there the whole time. You saw me. I mean, she was actually. It was so funny. She's sitting in the upper meadow, up by the top of the upper meadow, just watching me, driving around on that lawnmower. She's an amazing dog. She really is. She's a great dog. I love her. I can't even begin to. So somebody asked me a question. Okay, um, our female shepherd used to stare deeply into my son's eyes when she was in heat and wag her tail. Goofy. They pick one person. That's what they do. They pick one person. But yeah, I so somebody had asked me. They said, "How come you never bring the other dogs down?" Well, the only reason I started bringing Hella down with me is because she's so close to me, that she was depressed, and she was losing weight, and so I'm like, well, I'll start bringing her with me on this. I don't bring the other dogs because I don't really have room to bring three dogs down here with me, and I like having the other dogs back home in New York, so they're there for Heather and for Becky. So I love my other dogs. I think they're great dogs, but I this one here, this dog got into my heart, and I'm not gonna lie. I can honestly say I have never felt the way I do about her of any other dog I've ever had in my life. And I grew up with dogs, have had dogs several times, but something about her, she's special. She's a special dog. Yeah, the connection. Yeah, I mean, and it's just from day one when people were complaining, "Oh my God, you got her at 6 weeks." Remember that, guys? I remember that. You got her at 6 weeks. That's too early. That's not good. She needs to be with her mother till she's at least 8 weeks. Well, somehow she survived it, and she did pretty well. So no, she gets she if she's away from me, she don't like it. She has separation anxiety and the whole 9 yards. So it is what it is. That's just. But she's a good dog. And yeah, she like I said, there's something about her, something about her. But the loyalty of this dog is unbelievable. Very, very loyal. She don't go far from me. I can tell you that right now. She does not go far from me. But her boyfriend came up to visit today, which was very cute. And so they were like, he come up through the meadow. I was laughing so hard. His tail right up in the air, just a prancing away. And then the two of them, they were playing. They were having a good time. They only stay with the mama dog till 8 weeks because they learn their manners from mama. Exactly. Yeah, it's generally 8 weeks for dogs. So I got my dog at 6 weeks and she was already fixed. That's, yeah, well, oh my God. And the crap that I've heard because I wanted to hear her to have a litter. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. People are interesting. I will say that. So everybody, see, everybody has an opinion. Everybody, which is fine. You're entitled to your opinion. You know, if I decide I want to have her to have a litter, that's my business. If I decide I'm going to keep a couple of the puppies, that's my business. If I decide to sell the rest of her puppies, that's my business. So, you know, it's as simple as that. If you have a dog and you want to get your dog fixed, knock yourself out. Oh, Hella's boyfriend's his name is Jerry Lee. His name is Jerry Lee. Yeah, 6 weeks getting a dog fixed at 6 weeks is a little early, I think. Okie Forge says, "My opinion, your dog, your choice." Exactly. I need your mailing address. Where do I find it? Prep Rebel. It's right down in the description. It'll be my PO box here for West Virginia. So that's the way you do it. Didn't Jerry Lee marry a younger one? Yes, he did. Jerry Lee Lewis. I think she was what, like 13 when he married her? Something like that. Jerry Lee is the name of the dog in the movie Canine. Yeah, I know that they named him Jerry Lee for a reason, and I can't remember what they said, but that's the dog's name is Jerry Lee. Did you approve of Hell's boyfriend? Did he honk his car? He's a very gentle dog, real good natured. The first time I ever saw him, before Hella even came down, there was three of them that came up into the upper meadow, and I got out of the car and he came right up to me and I petted him and it was no issues whatsoever. So, oh, look at JJ trying to keep me locked in on track. All right, where is it? All right, here we go. It is time for shout out. So let us get going with that. JJ's a taskmaster, is cracking the whip on me. Not that I get distracted in any way ever, because no, I never do that. All right, we got Icky Can up in Canada, real good dude. If you would follow him, I would appreciate that. He's got his off-grid home up there. You have Angry Prepper with Jason down in New York City. Love Jason, good dude, very very solid. I have Rudy, Alaskan Prepper. Obviously, right now he's dealing with the strike. So I would still ask you to go over to his channel, maybe watch a few of his older videos, just to show him a little bit of support. And I would appreciate that because he's definitely taken a hit not being able to upload or live stream. And it's just, he got a strike for a week. You have Alaskan Granny. There's Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. Two channels, same guy. Really awesome watching him build his cabin up in Canada, starting over again. And I had to laugh when he was like, "Oh, starting over again. I'm starting all over again at 50." And I'm like, "Please, 50." Very hardworking guy though, really skilled. So it's fun to watch him. You have North Shore Preparedness also up in Canada. Corporal's Corner, Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. You have Bizariza Jizza, who's also from New York with the Carrington Chronicles. You have Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out in Seattle. Magic Prepper in North Dakota. You have Wrangle Star with Cody, really good channel as well. Red Poppy Ranch, there's Survival Lily. Kyle's Cabin with Kyle and Sierra up in Minnesota. Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, two different channels, husband and wife. A lot of great information with them as well. You have Green Greg's, Southern Prepper 1. There's Gray Man Prepping. St. Bernard Acres with Joe. You have Doug and Stacy, another really good channel. The Nomadic Movement, they are down in Panama, a nice young couple down there. The Green Dream Project out in Arizona, another really good channel. Back up in Canada, you have Camping with Steve Wallace. A lot of fun just to watch what he does up there in stealth camping, and it's a lot of fun. Monkey Works, The Needy Homesteader. You have Boss of the Swamp. I've been watching him for a very, very long time. Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, another great channel. Patero with Appalachian Homestead. You have City Prepper. There's Lumina Acres, Suspicious Observer, Bear Independent. You have the Uneducated Economist, Bushcraft Bear, who's now in Germany, no longer in the Canary Islands in La Palma. Mary Greeley News. She gives you all the updates on Yellowstone and the volcanoes and everything else, on the earthquakes that are happening. Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner with her channel. Ice Age Farmer. Ryan Hall, y'all, with the weather. He's a man to get your weather from. Good dude. You have Russell Brand. Love Russell Brand. Really good channel as well. He wants you to think, and that's what I like about Russell Brand. He wants you to think. Deep South Homestead, The Outsider, The Fit Farmer, Prepper Princess, Simple Life Reclaimed, Townsend's, The Prepared Mind out in California. You have Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee, East Tennessee Preparedness, The Economic Ninja, and Little House Off Gritty, also in Tennessee. So good channels out there, a lot of good information. I think that we should be supporting each other. I think that is important to do so. And so I would ask you to please do that. Also, let's not forget Heather's Etsy channel. So Heather makes jewelry. She also does a lot of crocheting. JJ, if you would throw up Heather's link there, please, I would appreciate it. If you have a request, you want something made or crocheted, she can probably do it for you. So, but had you ever see Norway Homestead on YouTube? He's in West Virginia. No, I have not seen him. Nope, I have not. So, yeah, I actually remembered Heather's channel today. So JJ just threw her link up there, guys. If you would go over and support her with that, I would appreciate it, and you'll get something made from Heather. So, but yeah, like I said, there's a lot of good information out there. There's a lot of really good channels. I really truly believe we should be supporting each other, and I think that that's a good thing. Ed, you should check out Peak Prosperity. I will be honest with you guys. I don't watch a lot of YouTube. Um, Not this time of year. More so in the winter, I do. But I have a lot going on this time of year, so I'm not really inside a lot. That's what I love about spring, summer, and fall. You can get out there and you can do stuff and be more active. So 1 billion people are on their way down west. Is 7 billion people are on their way up. Everyone else equals sunset, sunrise. Oh, going to bed and getting up. I'm not sure what you meant by that. So, but anyway, it's yeah, I get this time of year I'm like really busy. 80 came in and said that's me too, except this one channel. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I really do. I try to share information. I try to help enlighten people, educate people. My biggest thing is, like I said, I don't want you guys to be victims. So I will always encourage you to be proactive to help yourselves, to learn as much as you possibly can. Uh, Knowledge is power, to be honest with you, in my opinion. The more that we know, the more that we do, the more hands on stuff you do, I think that makes a difference too. And it really makes a difference. I mean, knowing, having a book and it says, if hold on. So if I pull this book up here and I go, okay, let me see, which one do I want to read on, right? So, how to make hardtack, emergency survival bread, right? So I could read it all day long, read how to do it. But the best way to do anything is to do it. You should read it, get your information, and then put it into practical practice. If you've made it, you know how to do it. It's there. That's information that you have. You have it in your head. I think that that's awesome, you know, and I think it's important. I think it's really, really important. The more information that you have, and if you're practicing those different things and doing different things, I think that that's really, really awesome. I'll give you an example. The lady that I had a conversation with the other day, I was talking to guys about the apples, right? And she is, an older lady, and she was like, "Well, I'll know when the apples are ready." She said, "What did you learn from your homestead in New York that you would change about West Virginia?" Oh, there was a lot, Lori. There was a lot. Starting out with a 48-volt system right from the very get-go down here, that was probably one of the biggest things. Not screwing around. I learned what worked, what didn't work, and I knew a 48 volt system was going to be much, much more efficient, and it was going to be better for me down here. So that's probably the biggest takeaway. Prioritizing what needs to be done, what needs to be taken care of, and making sure that we got power down here was a really important step. Once the camper was here, Then like I said, that's what we did first thing this spring. So, you know, it just it just that's like, and that's just one example. I could give you a ton more, but that's just one. But anyway, what was I saying? So you distracted me and I lost my train of thought. I hate when that happens. It's just, what was I saying just before I answered her question, guys? Oh, I was talking about learning how to. Oh, the apples. Yes, thank you. God, and the worst part is you say that and it comes right back. So anyway, I was talking with her. Yeah, squirrel. Oh, look, it's shiny. That's me. Not gonna lie. So anyway, the apples. She was saying once I look at the apples and if they've darkened up, the pits, then I know they're ready. But what she did tell me was this too. The couple of the apple trees that she has on the property, she says if these are old apple trees, not they're more resilient, they're more able to deal with stuff. She goes, if you take some of the seeds, no, you're fine, Lori. That's fine. No worries. No worries. She said, if you take some of those seeds from those apples this year, when I collect them from her, she said, you put them in the freezer, keep them in the freezer all winter, and in the spring you pull them out and you plant them. She said, you're going to have those apple trees and they're going to be awesome and they're going to do very, very well. So I absolutely plan on doing that. Absolutely plan on doing that. And so that's one of the things, like I said, and then she also, when I was talking, the conversation was, I was there for a while. I know it's hard to believe that I would spend time talking to somebody that I have no idea who they were. Um, but anyway, she gave me a recommendation, and I don't remember what she said right off the bat, but there was a local person where she got all of her fruit trees, and she said really good fruit trees. And she goes, if you need any, that's the guy you want to go through. But yeah, I could try some cuttings as well. Yep, Deborah. Yep, she was talking about that as well. But yeah, I want to definitely do that. So that's kind of my game plan is if I can, and these are all indigenous trees to this area, and that's the other part that I think is important. If you're going to do that, is get trees that are from the area. All right, so the time is getting away from me once again. So let us do. Oh, Lebanon bologna. I love Lebanon bologna. Love that. It's really good. But we are Legion because we are many. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge network. We're a huge family of people. Where is everybody from tonight? We got Randy Romines in Central Missouri. Philip from Melbourne, Australia. Not first tonight, Philip. Daniel from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Las Vegas, Nevada. Connecticut. Lake East, Ohio. BC, Canada. Nowhere, Oklahoma. Somerset, Pennsylvania. Inverness, Florida with Clyde. Franklin County, Ohio. The Pennsylvania Wilds. Christmas Valley, Oregon. Fort Worth, Texas. New Zealand is in the house. Glad to have you here. Washington, Colorado. Ontario, Canada, Waterloo, New York, Indiana, North Highlands of California, BC, Canada, Nully, Tennessee, Florida, Alliance, Ohio, Northern California, Littleton, New Hampshire, Apollo, Pennsylvania, St. Louis, Missouri, Michigan, Burton, Washington State. I probably said it wrong. I apologize. Wyoming, Western New York, Tucson, Arizona, Pennsylvania, Tulare, California. We have Virginia is in the house, North Carolina, Bumstead, Florida, Indiana, Richmond, Indiana. Let's see, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Edgewater, Florida. So, again, we are all over the freaking place. All over the place. So, what do we got? Yeah, right, JJ. We have Eastern Oregon, 109 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. Yeah, that's a little warm. That is a little warm. So again, we're all over the country, guys. We're all over the world. We're a huge, huge network of people. We are the ones that truly can make a difference. We can. Oh, Korea's in the house. Very nice. Very nice. Happy to have you here. Central Iowa, North Queensland, Australia. Very nice. We're the ones, guys, who can make a difference. We can make a difference. We're all over the world, and we're the ones that can educate people now. And after an SHTF event, we can teach people how to survive. Somerset County, Pennsylvania, Northern California. So, that's it. Keep prepping. Don't ever stop prepping. Stay diligent. Control what you can control. And that's it. You know, that's all any of us can do. Try to do the best that we possibly can. And when the time comes, here's something again. We got gardening in Oregon. Very nice. But, you know, when it happens, when SHTF happens, you are going to have what you have. That's it. No more going to the store. No more getting any more ammo. No more food to go get. No more gasoline. No more propane. So you better have what you have available ahead of time. And if you are ready for that, it just puts you in such a better situation to be able to deal with whatever's going to happen. So something to think about. Alan Rice in Southern West Virginia, very nice. Something to share. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop. Don't listen to negative people tell you what you can't do like that. It's funny now that we were all crazy, and as things continue to gradually get worse, they don't think we're so crazy anymore. It's amazing how that works. It is absolutely amazing how that works. So anyway, guys, I want to thank my moderators again, who do an absolutely awesome job keeping the chat clean. Frederick from Bumstead, Florida. We'll see you later. Have a good night. Thank you for being here. They do an awesome job, and I appreciate what they do. So thank you, everybody who moderates for me. Also, I want to thank all you guys for being here. I would not be here doing streams if you guys weren't here. So I appreciate the support. It really does mean a lot to me. So thank you guys for all of that. Also, again, more and more people are waking up, and that's a good thing. The more people that are awake, the less victims we're going to have to deal with, because there's going to be plenty of them out there. So, we all have decisions that we have to make when that time comes, and it's going to be very, very tough. Very, very tough. How do you tell somebody no? I'm not going to help you. So think about that. But you're going to have to. You're going to have to. You can't take food out of your family's mouth. You can't take food out of the group's mouth because somebody's got a sob story. Everybody's got a sob story now. So think about. I want you to think about panhandlers and what they do. All right, and they all got a story. They all got a scam. They're all, whatever the case may be. We got Hale, Michigan with Joe West in the house. Very nice. So, remember that. Remember, guys, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. Hey, Troy, thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that. Thank you. We have to stop letting them divide us. They use religion. They use political affiliation. They use race. They use the vaxxed and the unvaxxed. These are all games, continuous games that are used to keep us fighting amongst each other and never dealing with the real problems, which always is going to be big business and the government, because both of them want to control every aspect of your life. So think about that. All right. If we come together and work together, there's no stopping us. Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So we need to let the people that we know, that we care about every day, how we feel. Last but not least, STD. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, Whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from reaching your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. If you stay positive and stay away from the negativity, stay away from negative people that want to bring you down. Again, it doesn't have to be about prepping. It doesn't have to be about living off grid. It can be anything that you are working towards, striving towards, that you want to accomplish. You can do it. You just have to stay away from those type of people that are always going to try to bring you down, because their life sucks. They want your life to suck. It doesn't have to. And here's the other part. I'm going to leave you with this. Life is what you make it. If you want to have a miserable, horrible existence, that's exactly what you're going to get. But if you decide that you want to be happy and make the changes to make you happy, you can have a great life. All right? So have a good night, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.